Linda, and this is my July TBR. I am planning to participate in Jane Austen July in a minimal kind of way. I am planning to just read 2 books, and I will watch maybe some TV shows or movies having to do with Jane Austen books. But the 2 books I am planning to read are Mansfield Park, which I have never read before, and Letters from Jane Austen, which also I have never read before. So looking forward to that. For the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, I was going to read, the prompt was to read a book with an oxymoron in the title, and I DNF'd the last one I tried, so I got another one. This one is Falling Up. I hope that I will find nothing in there that I would DNF it for, and I don't think I will, because this is basically children's poetry. So Falling Up by Shel Silverstein is on my TBR this month. And now it's on the floor. Wasn't expecting that to happen. So, like last month was Pastoral June, and I didn't finish all the books that I had planned. I am 2 chapters into Incident at Hawks Hill by Allan Eckert, and I want to finish this. Pretty good little book. It was a Newbery honor book. It was actually written for adults, but it ended up on the Newbery list, so people think of it as a juvenile novel when it wasn't really intended that way. And it's about a little boy who communicates with animals better than he communicates with people. And the other book that I did not get to in Pastoral June was Valley of Little Rivers, which I do plan to read this month, early in the month. And I didn't read it because I started to read it and then I realized that there is no picture for this on Goodreads, because it's sort of a local novel. I don't think it's ever been sold on Amazon or anything like that. And I knew that if I continued to read it, I would mess up the cover so that it wouldn't lay flat and I wouldn't be able to get a good picture of it. So until I take a picture or scan the cover, I feel like I can't go ahead and read it. So it's coming soon though. Booktube spin. That was a lot of fun, that 3rd spin, because Rick McDonald spun the number 2, and number 2 book on my list of 20 possibilities was California Gold by John Jakes, which I was so excited when that one was chosen, because I've been wanting to read this book. Even though it was like the thickest book on my list, this one is like about 700 pages. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then he spun again. For the first time ever, he did 2 spins. And the second was number 20 on my list, and this is The Barbary Coast by Herbert, Asbury, a book from the 30s about San Francisco, sort of like the underworld during the Gold Rush. So I've got 2 Gold Rush books, although the John Jakes book actually takes place about 20 or 30 years after 1849, and this was actually 1849. And then I've got one other Gold Rush book that I'm planning to read, and that is a Christian romance novel called Redeeming Love. Takes place in the Gold Rush, so I've got 3 Gold Rush books now, and then I am still reading The World Rushed In, which is a Gold Rush book about a man named William Swain who traveled from New York to California, spent a few months here, and then he goes home. Well, anyhow, he actually did make the trip in 1849, and like 9 chapters in this book were about the trip from New York to California, and then 3 chapters are about California, and the last chapter is about going home. Now, I'm in the second to the last chapter right now, so I'm doing pretty good on that reading, and really about 60 pages from the end. So I was doing a thing called the Newbery Variety Challenge, and there was 17 books to read. This is a Goodreads thing. So there were 17 books on that list to read, and I have read 16. This is the very last book for that challenge, and this all 13, The Incredible Cave Rescue of the Thai Boys Soccer Team. This was a 2021 Newbery Honor book. The last one of the 2021 books for me to read, because I've read all the others. I joined a group on Goodreads called Sisters in Christ Book Club, and I've been trying to read their books. This was the June book, and I'm not finished with it, so I'll still be reading it in July. Plus, there's a July book that I ordered, and it hasn't come in yet. It is called Hinds, Feet in High Places, and it's sort of like a Christian classic fiction. So, the Stammering Century. This is about cults and other strange groups that came into being in the United States in the 1800s. I'm reading this for novel research and just because I like to read about things like that. And still reading Ramona. I'm 2 chapters from the end of the 8-book series. I'm also still participating in a Year in Mitford read-along. And we're in the 7th book now, and it is called In This Mountain, and looking forward to reading that. There are a few other books that I could read that are sort of on the back burner right now, like Dante, the Divine Comedy. I was reading Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I don't want to give up on that, but I don't really have it on my list right now, but I might still read some of it. Now, I have a habit because I run out of audiobooks to read. I have to go get another audiobook. I always have to have an audiobook in progress, and a few days ago I started a copy of Roughing It by Mark Twain. I don't know if I'm going to finish that. I'm 12 chapters into it. It is a lot of tall tales and exaggerations, and to tell you the truth, his writing style is quite amusing. So I may or may not finish Roughing It by Mark Twain, and I don't know what's going to come after that. Most of my books that I've got right now are paperbacks or hardbacks or Kindle copies, and I don't know what I'm going to be listening to after Roughing It, and I guess I'll let you know when and if it happens. So that is it for my July TBR. Really looking forward to reading all these books, and I hope to hear from you. I hope you leave a comment and let me know what you are reading right now. So thank you for listening.